The intensity is dialed to the maximum, and the headlines are coming in hot. First up, we are breaking down the aftermath of UFC 327, where Jiri Prochazka faced a shocking knockout loss against Carlos Ulberg. Anthony Smith has officially weighed in on the drama, rejecting the idea of mercy and claiming Prochazka simply got reckless after spotting an injury on his opponent. It is a debate that is tearing the MMA community apart, and we have all the details on why the former champion is facing such heavy scrutiny.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The action does not stop there, as the Octagon heads to the Great White North for a massive fight night in Winnipeg. All eyes are on the main event, as Gilbert Burns looks to bounce back against the surging Canadian favorite Mike Malott. Betting lines are shifting, and experts are weighing in on whether the veteran can hold his ground, or if the hometown hero is ready to climb even higher in the rankings. This is a must-watch showdown with major stakes for the welterweight division. We are also keeping a close watch on the rising star Malott and Jourdain, who continues to prove he is a force to be reckoned within the bantamweight division. He is preparing for a high-stakes collision against Phillips, and the buzz around his performance is reaching a fever pitch. Jourdain has been consistently dismantling tough competition, and all signs point to another explosive display of his signature striking and technical prowess. Finally, we have the most ambitious announcement in the history of the sport, as the UFC reveals the official itinerary for Freedom 250 on the White House grounds. This massive event will feature a stacked card headlined by Topuria, taking on Justin Gaethje and Pereira, moving up to face Gane in a historic tribute to the 250th anniversary of the United States. With 85,000 free passes available for the public watch party, this is going to be an unforgettable spectacle. Make sure you are part of the conversation by hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and ringing the bell for all the latest updates. Ever wonder what happens when a legendary samurai loses his edge? Jiri Prochazka just suffered a brutal knockout loss to Carlos Ulberg at UFC 327, and the fallout has been nothing short of explosive. But it isn't just the loss that has the MMA world buzzing. It's the excuse Prochazka gave afterward. He claimed he actually eased up on Ulberg after noticing the Kiwi was nursing a significant knee injury. But is this an act of true sportsmanship, or just a champion struggling to process his own decline? Anthony Smith isn't buying the mercy narrative for a second. On the Bonefire podcast, Lionheart Smith broke it down with his signature bluntness. He argued that when you're locked in a cage with a monster like Ulberg, the moment you spot a weakness, your own internal pressure drops. Smith believes Jiri didn't show mercy. He got arrogant. He thought he had the guy dead in the water, got reckless, and started playing with his food, only to get put to sleep for it. It's a classic trap in combat sports. The second you think you've already won is exactly when you lose. It's a harsh reminder that at the highest level, even the most focused warriors can let their ego write checks their chin can't cash. What do you think? Was Jiri being honorable, or is this just another case of a fighter losing his killer instinct? Drop a comment below with your take, and make sure to hit subscribe if you want to stay in the loop on all things MMA. Because in this game, even the best samurai can be caught by surprise when they stop hunting and start watching. Ever wonder what happens when a battle-tested veteran meets a hungry hometown hero with the entire arena cheering his name? We are heading to Winnipeg, Canada, for a stacked UFC Fight Night, and the atmosphere is going to be electric. I have broken down the odds, analyzed the matchups, and found 3 spots where the value is just too good to ignore. Let's dive straight into the action. First up, the main event. Gilbert Burns versus the Canadian sensation, Mike Malott. The books opened with Malott as a massive favorite, but the sharps have been backing Burns, pushing the price down. Honestly, I get the sentiment. Burns is a legend, but we have to look at the reality of the situation. Burns is riding a 4-fight losing streak, while Malott is on an absolute tear at 9-1. I'm backing the momentum here. Instead of betting the straight moneyline, I'm locking in a double chance wager. Mike Malott to win by either submission or decision at plus 255. Both guys are BJJ black belts, and if this hits the mat, I trust Malott to capitalize and secure the win in front of his home crowd. Next, the co-main event, a bantamweight war between Phillips and Jourdain. I'm rolling with Jourdain on the moneyline at -142. Look at the numbers. Jourdain is landing significant strikes at a higher clip and is significantly more accurate than Phillips. Plus, Jourdain's defensive metrics are rock solid. If this stays standing, he is going to pick Phillips apart, and if Phillips gets desperate and shoots for a takedown, Jourdain has that deadly guillotine waiting to snap. It is a smart, calculated play. Finally, don't sleep on the main card opener between Thiago Moises and Gage Young. The market has Young as the favorite, but I am fading that narrative completely. Moises has been in the octagon with absolute killers like Islam Makhachev and Beneil Darius. He's a seasoned gatekeeper who knows exactly how to win these types of matchups. Young, on the other hand, is absorbing way too much damage. At +130, I am taking a flyer on Moises to prove that experience still counts for everything in this sport. So there you have it. 3 plays, 3 distinct ways to attack the card. Do you agree with the underdog pick on Moises, or do you think the youth of the division will prevail? Smash that like button. Let me know your locks for Saturday night in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a winning ticket. Remember, bet with your head, not over it. Enjoy the fights. Ever wonder what it takes to climb the ranks in the most unforgiving division in combat sports? Meet Jourdain, the man who is quickly turning the UFC bantamweight division into his personal playground. This isn't just another fighter on the roster. We are talking about a guy who thrives on chaos and consistently dismantles tough opponents with a style that is as aggressive as it is calculated. Jourdain has this knack for showing up exactly when the pressure is at its peak, turning high-stakes bouts into absolute clinics. Now, he faces Phillips in a matchup that is arguably his most critical test yet. It is the kind of clash that separates the contenders from the champions, and frankly, I cannot wait to see how the technical prowess of these two stacks up inside the octagon. This is exactly why we watch, the constant evolution of talent and the relentless hunt for the top. If you love high-octane striking and elite-level scrambles, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our deep dive analysis on this fight. After all, in the UFC, you are only as good as your next performance, and Jourdain seems determined to make his a legacy-defining one. Picture this, the octagon on the White House South Lawn. It sounds like a fever dream, but the UFC just made it reality. On Sunday, June 14, 2026, the promotion is set to take over the heart of American democracy for UFC Freedom 250, a massive spectacle marking the nation's 250th anniversary. This isn't just another card, it's a statement. While the 5,000 elite invitees on the lawn will have the best seats in history, Dana White is making sure the rest of the world isn't left in the dust. The adjacent 52-acre ellipse will play host to a monumental 85,000 person watch party. And honestly, the scale of this production is staggering. Insiders are already calling this the most expensive event the UFC has ever touched, and looking at this fight card, it is easy to see why. We are talking about an undisputed lightweight title unification between Topuria and Justin Gaethje that is practically guaranteed to be a war. Then, you have Alex Pereira moving up to challenge Gane in a heavyweight showdown that could finally cement Poten as a 3-division monster. From the return of Suga Sean O'Malley against Ayman Zahabi, to the absolute heavy-hitting chaos of Derek Lewis stepping in against Josh Hockett, this lineup is pure gold. Add in Bo Nickel, Michael Chandler, and Diego Lopes, and you have a historic night of violence set against the backdrop of the White House. It is a bold, high-stakes gamble that proves the UFC is playing for keeps on the world stage. What do you think? Is this the biggest combat sports event ever, or is the pressure of the venue going to change the vibe of the fights? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and head over to boxingnews.com for all your breaking updates. Sometimes, you have to break tradition to create a legacy.